What's up everybody, Sam Smyers here. So today I want to go over some Timbaland sound design and I want to go through how to make the bass line to Aaliyah's Try Again. Now if you're not yet subscribed to my channel, please go ahead and subscribe, and also please go ahead and give this video a like if you enjoy this type of content, and also because it will really help me out. So let's go ahead and jump right into it. The bass line to Try Again has this really cool groove, and I think Timbaland probably used the Roland TB-303, which is this synth that is known for having this acid house bass sound, this really resonant bass sound. And so I just tried to create that in Serum. I think a lot of this sound comes from the actual groove of the notes that he's playing. So let me just show you the notes of the MIDI first. Now I have this whole thing full screen, and basically you can see that the MIDI notes are all over the place. Let me just open up the Serum and have the initial preset on. So it's just like a default oscillator, the default wave table. And I'll just play you how this sounds, the MIDI sounds. So it's a pretty complicated groove that's going on there, and basically how I figured that out was I found a part of the song that just had the notes playing, and I was able to match up the timing because the notes are not perfectly quantized. And I think that is just Timbaland playing these notes on the keyboard. So I was able to just match the MIDI to these notes here. This is just like the instrumental part. But this is something you can do if you're trying to design a sound, is to just try to match up the notes, the MIDI notes, exactly to the wave forms. I also have in the MIDI these really fast notes, and I'm not sure if that's because the sound is actually being pitched down really fast, or it's because Timbaland is maybe hitting a lower note really quickly with his left hand on the keyboard. So that's why you might see these in the MIDI. And so if you do want to check out this MIDI, I'll put a link down below for you to grab it. And then I'll also put a link to grab the preset as well, if you do want to grab the preset and the MIDI together. So let's jump into Serum now. I'm going to do basic shapes and put it on the saw wave and lower this 1 octave, or you can just lower the MIDI 1 octave. And then I'm going to adjust my envelope 1. So let's go ahead and shape this envelope 1 a bit like this and raise up that attack a tiny bit. Raise up that release maybe a little bit. I'm going to go to my voicing, turn this on to mono, and then raise up this portamento because I have some of the notes in the MIDI overlapping because I feel like they bend up into each other. So you can hear some of the effects of putting that voicing on the mono and raising up that portamento. Now let's go ahead and put on my MG Low 6, and I'm going to raise up this resonance quite a bit. And this is going to give us that acid bass sound. So let me raise up this drive a tiny bit. And then I'm going to assign envelope 1 to the cutoff, hit Shift and Option so that the modulation is unipolar instead of bipolar. And I'm going to adjust this cutoff and then lower the high frequency part to this, let's say, maybe around 60 or 70, so around there. And if I raise this resonance up, then we can increase that crunchiness. We can also just change the slope of the filter. But I'm not sure that makes like a huge difference. I think that just the MG Low 6 sounded the best to me. So I'm going to go into my effects and add on a compressor. Now this is optional, but I felt like the multiband made it a bit brighter and made the bass stand out a bit more, but you might not even need this if you don't want it that bright. And then I'm going to add on some distortion. So for the distortion, I'll just do the tape saturation, and then I'll just raise up that drive and lower that mix. And if I want to take off some of that brightness from the multiband compressor, then I'm going to add on the EQ8, just rolling off some of this low end and then taking off around 7K or so. And let's just go ahead and listen to that with the drums. And then I can add on some really light reverb with a small decay and a very low dry to wet ratio. And then with the drums again. Once again, I'll go ahead and put this preset down below as well as the MIDI. This acid bass sound, this acid house bass sound is created by this really high resonance. So if you do want to create this for any other type of track, then you can adjust this resonance up or down and then assign it to your envelope. And then that will give you that really cool sound. that's basically it. If you enjoyed this video, please go ahead and give a like, and also please subscribe to my channel if you're not yet subscribed. And finally, if you do want to check out any of my other Serum preset packs, I'll put links down below for you to grab those as well. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time.